Hey guys, welcome back to Mountain Music Exchange. I'm Clay,
I'm Jason.
and we're going to talk a little bit today about. Normally, we talk about like gear, and we keep it gear focused. We're a music store, so it's kind of natural that we would do that. But I think today we're kind of a little bit more interested in like inspiration. So Jay has got a pretty classic album cover here. You can see that's Kiss's "Rock and Roll Over." So we're going to chat a little bit about that album, some of the gear they used on that album, some of the gear we ended up having to use to try and make that album sound like, something when we were playing, and just kind of go from there. So first off, Jay, tell me, when did you first get Rock and Roll Over? When did it first enter your life?
Oh, back in the year of 1979.
No kidding.
I was 5 years old. Had this on 8-track. Ended up wearing it out on 8-track. That didn't last very long at all. So I ended up getting it on vinyl shortly after that. As an older person, I still listen to Kiss. I revisit it somewhat. Not a whole lot, but as far as Kiss albums go, this is maybe the most debatable, solid Kiss album from top to bottom. Would you agree?
I do agree, absolutely. Do you think this is an album, would you say this is an album that when you do come back to Kiss, you kind of gravitate toward this album?
The production, yeah, hands down. I mean, the songs, most of these songs were live staples for many years and still a live staple now,
Oh, yeah, I mean, you've got like Love 'Em and Leave 'Em, Calling Dr. Love. I mean, dude, there's a ton of really like classic, stand the test of time like Kiss songs on there.
Absolutely. And then Hard Luck Woman, I think they wrote that originally. Paul Stanley wrote that originally he had in mind to give that to Rod Stewart or whatever. It's kind of his take on a Maggie May or a You Wear It Well or something like that. Ended up Peter Criss singing it, and it's still a popular song to this day.
If you listen to that song too, I remember the first time I heard that song, it's got Rod Stewart like all over it. It sounds like a Rod Stewart cover. I mean, it just has Rod Stewart all over that song. I mean, it's very, very Rod Stewart. So I'm glad they ended up using the song because it is a good song.
It is a great song. Eddie Kramer, who did a lot of Hendrix work, production and engineering and whatnot, I think his hands are all over this album or whatever, so maybe that has something to do. They were just coming off Destroyer, which was extremely produced. Great album. Some say it's their best album. But this may be the most polar opposite of the production from Destroyer. Maybe that was an effect of that album. Maybe that's why they went with that direction. But
yeah, I could see that.
Rock and roll 70s, just cranked up in your face guitar albums. This is one of the best albums you could ever find for that.
So you're kind of like me, and I think we're like a lot of people who are gearheads when it comes to music gear and albums and stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about what Ace? Since I'm holding the Les Paul, I guess I'm thinking of Ace.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about what Ace was using on that album? I mean, I know obviously probably a Les Paul.
Yeah, he was it's pretty sparse. It was basically a Les Paul into a Marshall, maybe a flange effect on a couple of songs. I know Love 'Em and Leave 'Em has a flange effect on there. But it was basically just straight guitar in the amp, was it not?
Yeah, I mean, Ace was never really known for really having like a big, heavy, hard, distorted sound or anything, as far as I can remember. Anyway, maybe in the '80s with some of the, the solo albums or something.
Right.
But pretty good stuff, man. Just kind of straightforward. I mean, when you say straightforward rock and roll, it's literally straightforward rock and roll because it's guitar into amp, and then you're just
exactly,
playing. So, tell me then, what were you playing? Like, what kind of gear did you play when you were inspired to play Kiss songs for the first time?
When I started out, man, I bought a Sears Cort, a Sears version of a Cort guitar. Bought it off a guy I went to school with. It had some built-in push-button effects on it and whatnot. I was using that and a PV Rage, and just cranking that up and whatnot, which wasn't, very, very close to that sound, but it was just getting me some crunch,
Yeah. Well, I'm holding this Les Paul because it's, we're talking about Kiss and guitar and all that, so you think of Ace and you think of Les Paul. But when I was first playing Kiss tunes or Metallica tunes or AC/DC tunes or anything like that, I don't know how we even have one of these in here. I'm pretty sure this is made entirely out of plywood or something, but I had this. I had a Yamaha EG303. That was what my folks got me when I was 12 for my first electric guitar. and I really don't know how this thing ever got back in here. It was
That's
it was at a J.C. Penney's. It came with a Yamaha amp, and I remember a buddy of mine had a PV Bandit, and it had a lot of distortion on it, you know. So,
Right on.
And my amp didn't, so I kept thinking, like, I aspired at 12 to get a PV Bandit. You know, like that was my, to me, that was like, yeah, this is what I'll be able to play all the songs on because it's got all the distortion.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, until then, I think me and you both, you know, you'd throw a tube screamer in front of your amp or something, you know, to get Kiss sounds or AC/DC sounds or anything like that, you know. So I guess the point is, like, especially when you're first learning, you just kind of have to work with what you have.
There's kind of something to that,
I
feel, yeah.
No money to play with, to buy gear. You know, we just were at the mercy of our parents and whether or not they had anything to work with, you know, or at the mercy of selling lunch money or something. So, point is, you know, the album inspired us both. I'm sure there are albums out there that inspire you guys too. So let us know, you know, like in the comment section below this video, let us know like what albums inspired you guys, and let us know some of the early gear you guys had, you know, because I'm sure it's not everyone started out with a Les Paul Standard and a Marshall, you know, Plexi or something. So I've always kind of been fascinated with that, and I'm sure Jay has too. Yeah. So drop us a line. Check us out on Facebook, of course, Mountain Music Exchange, mountainmusicexchange.com, and on YouTube at Mountain Music Exchange. Like and subscribe there for more videos. So that's got us, I think, for this one. I'm Clay.
I'm Jay.
And we'll see you later.
Thank you guys.